The hat is on backwards, which means, hell yeah, we're talking about some music today, and unfortunately I have a pretty sad update regarding the album. Just mess with y'all. No, it's only good news today. Yeah, the album's coming along great, and I'm thinking it'll be out this winter at the latest, but we're probably looking at a fall release, and I can tell you that the first single will be dropping sooner than you think. Today, no. In a few weeks, probably. So, right now we're looking at about 10 tracks that are done for the album. I would like to flesh it out a little bit more because 2 of those tracks are an intro and an interlude, so 8 fully complete songs, but that feels weak, so I want to bump it up a little bit. I want to throw in at least another, like, 2 to 6 songs in here, at least. You know, at the same time, though, I don't want to, like, drag it out and fluff it out. You know, I'd rather have a short, compact album that says everything it needs to, rather than flesh it out just for the sake of fleshing it out. Because at that point, you're not really fleshing it out, you're just kind of putting in fluff and filler, and nobody really needs any of that. But rather than just talking about the album today, why don't I let you guys hear some of it? Will you hear my vocals? No. I'm just going to be teasing some beats. Now keep in mind, everything that you're going to be hearing today is a work in progress. None of this has been properly mixed, mastered, not all of the effects are in place where they need to be. Some things are stripped down to the point of where there's not even any reverb on anything, and it's literally just notes on a piano roll and that's it. And some others are a bit farther along, and yeah, I'll just kind of let you guys hear some of it. I'm staring at all my project files right now because I have my entire album right in front of me, so it's like, ooh, what do I let the people hear first? Why don't I do something a little ballsy and let you guys hear the opener to the album first? You ready for this? I'm kind of fucking terrified because nobody besides like me and my mom have heard this shit. Alright, you ready? Fuck, let's just do it. No vocals, just beat. There you go, you just kind of get a gist for it. So, again, none of this is anywhere close to done. Like, well, actually, no, that's a lie. This is an older version of the song. I won't lie, I'm in an older version of the project file because I didn't want you guys to hear the vocals yet. So, this is, like, an earlier on stage of it. But for what it is, it sounds pretty good. But, while we're here, why don't I spill the first few bars? Shit, that was just the drums. I was trying to play the whole track. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. Now, keep in mind, it's 7 in the morning, so bear with me. Guess it's been a minute, but I hit my fucking limit. Time to write the words and spit it, let the pain roll out with it. Pass the bowl and hit it stone cold. When I spit it, choke cold. When you're in it, don't know what you'll witness. Call me a medicine, give me 5 minutes, I'll pop my medicine. Leave them all guessing. What I'm trying to say is you better make way, cause yeah, well, I'm just gonna stop right there, actually. We're not gonna go any more than that. But yeah, that's a teaser of the first track on the album. And the first track is actually like nothing but bars. It's literally just, okay, I don't know why the drums keep playing. This is pissing me off. Stop. Every time I click something, it just plays nonstop. Anyway. Yeah. The first track, it doesn't have any hooks or anything. It's literally just the opener that says, hey, motherfucker, you're in Grotesque World now. So it's just like 3.5 minutes of just pure fury of me pouring my fucking soul into this track. And dog, I'm not even gonna lie, it was actually kind of hard to write because by the end, I just had to be so unapologetically honest, not only with myself, but obviously with like the lyrics and everything. And yeah, you can definitely hear it by the end of the track. That's one thing with this whole album in general, though, because the album's called Survivor, right? This is kind of like my story and just like, you know, the name kind of speaks for itself. Like, a lot of times I don't really feel like I lived through everything, even though I did. I just kind of survived it, you know what I mean? There's a difference between living and surviving, and I feel like I've just survived a lot of things in my life, and that doesn't mean that, like it doesn't invalidate anything that I've been through or any of the experiences that I've had. It just, you know, sometimes it does kind of get to that point where it's like, well, shit, you know, I'm still here for a reason, I'm sure. But damn it if I don't got a scar or two to show for it, you know what I mean? But hey, like that one song says, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and I truly do live by that. But anyway, while we're talking about songs and whatnot, why don't I just go ahead and tease the end song on the album? Again, this one is not finished. There's actually barely any effects on this one. This one's about as raw as fucking raw can get, so it sounds like shit, but here you go. so that's the loop. Now, it's honestly such a beautiful, it's really beautiful. It goes C major, E minor, D sus2, and then A minor. Now here's the thing. I had two different versions of this, right? So I just played that one. Now I'm going to play the second one. I was literally sitting in my room last night for like, almost like, I don't know, it was like 15, 20 minutes just playing this over and over, because me and her couldn't figure out which one sounds better, because like sometimes when my ears fail me, I'm just like, I need another, you know, my mom's like the person I go to, because I'm just like, okay, we're related, we probably have like similar ears, I need to know like which one sounds better, right? And like here, so you heard the first one, it sounds more raw, and I have this other effect that I turn on and off, and I feel like if I turn it on, it makes it feel too pretty, whereas the first one is a bit more raw, and I think I like the rawness, but at the same time, this one feels a bit more produced and a bit more cleaned up. So I'm going to ask you guys as well if you prefer the first one or this, and I'll play them again back to back just so you can get a feel for like what is what. It's just a bit wider. So that's 2, or okay, so so I'm gonna say 1 and 2, and in the comments just let me know if you prefer 1 or 2. So the one I just played was 2, and now this one is 1. Like, I feel like 1 just feels like, you know, it's a bit more raw, and, like, obviously I'll have to put some more effects on it, but it does feel like it feels a bit more claustrophobic, a bit more personal, whereas 2, I feel like it loses some of that rawness and some of that, like, close feeling, but it still sounds pretty and still kind of retains the same feeling while feeling just a little bit lighter. I'll really know the difference when I go to make the hook, because the hook is all strumming, but I'll play 2 one more time. It's very subtle, but there's a difference. Like, this one just sounds better, but the other one feels better. You know what I mean? It's a really beautiful progression, though, and I have to lay out the whatchamacallit, the, you know, like the hook and everything, yeah, with like the strumming and whatnot. Let me go grab my guitar. I've played it for you guys before, but I'll do it again. I apologize in advance if my guitar is out of tune. My guitar tuner is my phone, but I'm using this phone, or I'm using my phone to record this video, so I can't exactly do that. But yeah, the thing that you just heard, I'll probably have to pull the microphone a bit closer so you guys can actually hear this, because everything that you just heard was was this right here, like. Like all that nonsense, and then the hook is like it goes like that, and then it goes down to an A minor or whatnot, and just kind of keeps doing that. So once I do the hook, I guess that'll kind of tell me a bit more. I don't know. Like I said, 1 feels better, but 2 sounds better and still has some of that feeling. So I think from a producer standpoint, I kind of want to go with 2, but I don't know. Do I go from the producer standpoint, or do I go from like the heart standpoint? But I feel like the heart is still intact in 2. There's a whole lot of stuff on this record. There's rap, there's punk rock, and then there's full-blown fucking metal. There's actually a punk rock and rap song hybrid. It's like, it goes like, waking up with sweats, clouded with regrets, and a stomach full of meds, and my wrist leaking, like all of that shit. So hold up, let me play some of that if I can remember it off the top of my head. Yeah, this guitar is definitely out of tune. I gotta tune it, my bad. Fuck, was it? Yeah, then it goes back down here. I gotta start writing this shit down. All this shit is just up in here, so if I die tomorrow, bro, like, this music will just be lost, because a lot of it's up here. That's why I've had to start penning it down, because right now I'm at the stage where, like, I'm not really doing a whole lot of recording vocally. I'm just, like, laying out instrumentals, and once all the instrumentals and lyrics are done, I'm just gonna fucking fire off, record all the tracks, and just, like, bang it out in, like, a week, you know what I mean? Well, I gotta be careful, because, like, you know, it's gonna be hard for a few of the songs, because, like, the one song is going to absolutely fucking murder me, and I know it. It's a song called You Can't Change Me, and it's just sheer metal destruction. Like, it's just like rapid fire screamed lyrics. We're talking like this like 99 Slipknot era sounding type stuff where I'm just screaming my lungs out because I can do like false chords and such, like not gonna do the whole thing right now, but like I know what I'm doing. It's just kind of hard to do it all at once because I have to do that, but like making me feel fucking like, that song's gonna murder me. Again, it's not because it like hurts or anything, because like it doesn't. Like if you're doing the screams right, they shouldn't hurt, but it's just like it's gonna take a lot out of me emotionally and just physically. I could plug in like my electric guitar and everything, but God, you know, I mean, I might do it in a sec, but I have the riff down and everything goes like. Like something like that. Actually, no, I fucked up at the end. At the end, it's supposed to go like. Fuck. Fuck, yeah, you have to downpick it like 5 times, but I'm so used to going 3 times, so I gotta figure that part out then. But anyway, I started penning that down actually, in my software this morning, and dude, it sounds so fucking gnarly when you get like the effects going and everything. Oh my goodness. And I just have the dry sound, right? Like no echo, no reverb or anything yet, but I was like sitting there starting to mess with it, like all right, reverb it a little bit, put some echo in it, maybe double up the guitars just to make it sound a bit thicker, extend the notes a little bit. Ooh man, my ears were in heaven. I have the verse and the hook and everything down too, because the verse, it's literally just 002, so the zeros are 16th. Every zero in the song is a 16th note, whereas the fretted notes are 8th notes, so it goes like. You literally do that 12 times and then it goes. Wait, no, it goes. Do that 12 times. And you just keep it going, and the hook is something like. Fuck, messed up. Something like that. I gotta figure out the exact amount of shrums. I just know that's the order that I want, sticking to that low, like 2, 3. Oh, you can't even see it. Put it down between my nards. There you go. The like 2 and then 3 and then 5. Just keeping it real low, real simple, because I'm doing this in standard tuning. So yeah, that's about like up here. That's the limit of gnarliness if you're trying to stay in standard tuning. Otherwise, you got to start going down. Drop D if you're getting grungy, but realistically, for something that heavy, you'd want to go even lower for like drop C, drop B. But I just kind of wanted to be quirky and be like, hey, I'm gonna make the heaviest sounding shit in standard tuning just because when I make music, I like challenging myself and being a fucking moron. So that's what I'm doing. But honestly, I was listening back to it this morning, and the way that I had the effects on the guitar so far, just because I've been experimenting with stuff, it sounds like, since it's in a bit of a higher tuning than something like Slipknot, because you know, something like Marilyn Manson, for example, is usually in like standard tuning or especially like drop D. It honestly sounds like a blend of like Korn meets Manson in a way. I don't know how to explain it. Not exactly even just like the riff itself, though. It kind of does, because that like kind of sounds like Blind, you know, because Blind's the exact same frets. It goes like but mine's different. It's like I gotta remember some of the words to it, like some I see through you things you've done to something like that, but it's like obviously it's all in electric. I'm gonna have to like channel some of that like Korn Slipknot energy where I'm like moaning into the mic while I'm doing like I see through you things you've done to you can't change me. The hook has changed a lot in that song too, because originally I had like an dude, like a lot of this music is actually stuff I wrote years ago, and I'm just finally like using it because there's a lot that's happened to me in the last 5 years especially. So I've been writing on and off over the last like 5 years, so now I'm like kind of using a lot of it. You know, there's a lot of original music. I mean, all the music on this record is obviously original. I'm the one that wrote all this stuff, but it's like you know, there's a lot of new stuff going into it, but there's also a lot of old stuff that I'm kind of like pulling back and like, okay, you know what, I've been sitting on this, let me turn this into something, and it's all kind of like coming to fruition. And this is one of the songs I wrote years ago, and it's I'm not gonna spoil what the song is about, but it's just about a certain thing I've had to deal with my entire life. And yeah, the hook, I had like an instrumental at one point in the past, but I was like, no, I don't really want to do that. So then I decided to just kind of start from scratch, go for something a bit more gnarly, a bit darker. And I'm really liking how it's turning out. But the hook for the original instrumental I had down, it was a lot shorter. It was just that. I was like, I see through you, things you done to you can't change me. No, 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 no. Something like that, like fucking like screaming over like the drum fills or whatever. But then I had to change it a bit, and I'm gonna have to like figure out how that's gonna work in the new one. So I had to go like, I see through you, things you done to you can't change me. Something like that, because it's the way I have the drums and everything laid out. So a lot of it's still a work in progress, still a lot of writing and whatnot that has to be done, but I'm still confident in the fact that I could totally get this thing banged out by the fall, because when I sit down to work, dude, I'm a literal machine. Like, when I sit down to work, because I have these spells, right, where it's like, okay, I go like a few days where I don't really get anything done, I'm trying to write, but it's just feels a bit contrived, doesn't really, like, when I write, I need to make myself fucking miserable. Like, I'm already miserable a lot of the time. I hate admitting this stuff out loud. Like, I'm not, like, how do I explain this? I'm usually a very optimistic human being, and I'm usually in a pretty good mood, but there is always a lingering sense of, like, okay, like, I'm fine, but there is always just, like, a lingering sense of, okay, something isn't completely right here, I guess. Like, something still just feels wrong, but I try to bury those feelings and just focus on the good ones, if that makes sense. But when I write music, I have to, it's emotionally draining for me, because I don't write happy music. I write the most, not even just sad and depressing or angry music, I write the most human music. And I feel like that's the hardest stuff to write, because it's not just, okay, let's write something sad, let's write something angry. No, it's writing the truth. And I feel like the truth hurts more than anything else that you can write. So every time I sit down to write, I have to basically be like, okay, I need to be honest with myself for once, and I need to, basically take myself to all of the worst places that I don't want to go inside of my own mind, because out of any place on earth, this is my least favorite place. I hate being here, and yet because of a lot of my mental conditions, I spend a lot of time up here. Like OCD, for example, I sit there thinking about everything to the most egregious extents every single day about every single little thing, so I'm constantly living up here, and I hate living up here. So now imagine every time that I write, I need to take myself deeper in here, but then also go in here, you know, and here is a place that I tried to shut off a few years ago just because a lot's happened to me in my life, so I find it easier to just close people out entirely, even if it's people that I've been like close to, you know what I mean? I'm sort of like a rubber band. The closer I get to people, the harder the band pulls, right? Because like when you pull a rubber band, right, like you pull on it, there's a lot of tension and whatnot, and then it gets to a point where the closer I get to somebody, the farther the rubber band expands, and then when I get too close, it just snaps, and that's when I completely disconnect and like ghost people and whatnot. And I've been trying to do a better job of that lately, but still not doing the greatest job. So yeah, this album has been a lot of fun to make. It's been fun making music again, but I've also had to like dig into the most just like dark, depressing, and realist just pits in my mind, and I'm just like sitting there writing, and like, cause like literally every time that I write or every time I make music, I just cry, because there's always crying involved, because like I sit there, I start writing, and I'm like, okay, now I need to feel something real, okay, now I need to write about how much I hate my life and how much I want to take it, or this, that, or the other, and you know, I have to like sit there writing all this stuff, and it's like, you know, sure, nobody's making me write like this. I could write something happy if I wanted to, but that's just, you know, I'd rather write something real, because that's what this album is meant to be. So it's just like, just taking myself into the pits. So I might need to make like a LMFAO dubstep album or something next time, just to switch up the mood before I throw myself into hell again. But anyways, yeah, I think we'll leave it there for now. I don't know. There is some other things I could tease, but I think I'd rather wait. I've already teased a few things today, and yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff in the works. Like I said, this thing is wrapping up rather quickly, so if I get some more ideas for songs, I might toss them on. Otherwise, I think I might just leave the project a bit shorter, because again, rather have it be just as long as it needs to be rather than fluff it out. So we'll see how things go there, but anyways, yeah, hope you guys are looking forward to that. I'll update you guys as soon as I have something to update you with, and yeah. But anyway, as always, a massive shout out to all the Patrons and channel members. Thank you to all you in the low baller tier, and an even big shout out to the big ball team, Alasking, and Big Dad, and Manny, and the big shout out on DJ Run. I've been simply too Thank you guys so much, guys. To Literal Legends, I love you. Koroni, Dodaki, Arigato, Gozaimasu. Have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Brace.